garden. Now let's take a stroll through the house that Charlesetta built. As you walk up the steps to 315 McIntyre, a sign greets you on the door that states, "Stay off my porch." That was Charlesetta, straight and to the point. As loving and kind as any mother, sister, or aunt could be, she also possessed a razor-sharp tongue and a witty sense of humor. Countless salesmen and unwanted visitors who chose to disregard the sign often left victims of a verbal assault. For the people she allowed in her world and loved, she loved with all she had. She was the foundation of her home, and her children filled her house with hope and love. She loved her children with everything and found her own ways to show it. And her children loved her just as much. When Janet was little, she wanted nothing more than to look just like her mother. Charlesetta would point to a friend and say, "Just watch this." She would go upstairs and change on a pair of jeans. Janet would run up the steps right behind her and put on jeans as well. Charlesetta would go back upstairs and change from jeans to shorts to a dress or something else, and never failed, Janet, her little twin, would be right behind her. When Ellis was little, he owned a big wheel hoopty. Between the front seat falling off and the wheel pulling slightly to the left, riding it was anything but fun. Miss Cheddar promised her baby boy that if he would be the ring bearer in a friend's wedding, that she would buy him a brand new big wheel. The very excited and proud Ellis agreed and made it through the rehearsals with no problems. The day of the wedding, when it was his turn to walk down the aisle, he froze. He couldn't believe how many people were there watching him. I know what that's like. Little Ellis began to cry and was afraid to walk down the aisle by himself. That big wheel was just not worth it. Charlesetta gently nudged her baby boy down the aisle, and several minutes later, he made it to the altar. Although he did not walk by himself, when he got home, a shiny new big wheel was there waiting for him anyway, because he tried and he deserved it. That was just the type of person Miss Cheddar was. Whenever her grandson Rodney was running late for school, he can always count on Grandma to give him jitney fare. He can also count on her to attend his football games, rain or shine, always holding an umbrella to shield her from the rain or shine. She was also a germophobic who did not want dirty hands in or around her fridge. She loathed people who would allow their children to make their own plates in the buffet line. There was no way all those little hands could be clean. And don't even think about biting a french fry and dipping it back in the ketchup a second time. No double dipping. One day while waiting in line for sushi, Miss Cheddar noticed something she did not like. The same person who was handling the cash was also making the sushi. She gave him a piece of her mind and refused to purchase the food until he washed his hands. I gotta say, I don't blame her on that one. Charlesetta had a sense of humor, and not even the utility company was exempt. One month, she was annoyed by the service, or lack thereof, from the gas company. She had been battling and arguing with them for a few days. When the matter was settled, she agreed to pay $600, but not in the form of cash, check, or money order. In true Miss Cheddar fashion, she took the $600 to the bank and exchanged it for $600 in pennies and paid the gas company.